You are listening to the Slowly Dying Podcast with Becca.
Am I just extra or are you just basic?
Yo, what's
Can
up,
you
daddy?
please move your leg? I cannot believe my ex said that.
And Bronte. I can't believe any of my exes said that. I didn't have my coffee today. If there's good food, there is no problem.
Some whipped cream on your nose, actually.
Are we really back for another season?
We get it down on the mic because you don't want a bike.
Oh God, here we go.
Hey guys, what's poppin'? We're back on the mic, and guess what? Your girl Bronte is trying to say hi.
Hi guys, I'm back.
We back.
Oh, it feels good to be back.
Now be honest.
Don't yawn, God. We have a full schedule. Jesus.
I can't keep up.
What the heck is wrong with you?
I did not understand the assignment.
God. Like, we have a whole full block schedule. I gotta get through. It's only the beginning. Anyway.
All right, you want to tell them what we're talking about? What are we talking about?
God, I'm like looking at my notes here. What is it?
Until a man...
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Are you gonna finish? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with us?
I don't even know. Okay, it's called Until a Man Heals Himself. That's it.
Yeah.
And what do we mean by that?
And I mean, like, you know, to be able to... I don't know why we're saying until a man heals himself. We should say until a woman heals himself.
Okay, until anyone heals himself.
Pretty much until anybody heals themselves, you fill in the blank. You know, I think it's very important until you can actually heal yourself and figure out who you are as a person. You can't be in another relationship. I mean, you can, but then you wonder why it fails. Mm-hmm. That type of topic, I think.
Okay,
we're
so like
in it today, guys.
So basically, like covering, like as you said, taking some time for you and before you go ahead and make time for other commitments, others. Okay, yeah. I gotcha.
And I think it's really important, especially like my relationships in the past. You know, you can get in relationships and they're cool and everything, but you really don't grow. Like, no. You know, you just work your 9-to-5 job, you pay your bills, you have a little bit of extra money, and you watch Netflix every night, which is like there's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, until a man actually heals himself and like feels like a man and like you feel like a woman and you like are good by yourself, you really cannot grow with the other person.
Yeah, no.
And I think it's really important. So I just wanted to talk about that.
I think so, because I feel like if you don't work on yourself and you don't take the time to open up your feelings and open up the time to process your emotions and everything like that, you don't. It may seem like if you get into, like, for example, like you break up and, you know, you don't take the time to heal and you jump into another relationship. You're not giving yourself time to, 1, figure out what went wrong in the relationship, 2, heal.
Yeah.
3, figure out what you love again, finding yourself again, being confident in yourself again, being okay and independent with yourself again, and then being ready to jump into something again. I don't want to say jump, being ready.
Yeah.
For me personally, guys, I broke up with my ex about 1.5 years ago. God.
Time's flying.
Holy crap. And I haven't been in a relationship since. We broke up May 2020? Was that it? May 2020?
Something like that.
And so it's, you know, time flies, like Becca said, but honestly, I have not been with anyone, really. I mean, like...
You've been by yourself, working on yourself. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and I think it comes from my previous experiences, but the importance of it. Like, you know, I think a lot of the times if it's your first relationship, you feel like if you break up, you need to have something because you're trying to fulfill what you're missing, which you broke up with.
Yeah.
But really at the same time, you have to work on yourself in order to know what you want, be okay, and then know what you want for the better for your next relationship. Mm-hmm. And you grow as a person. You're not the same person as you was at 18. I'm not saying I'm the same person at 18 and I'm almost 30. Like, It's not working like that. So I knew, I'm like, I'm not looking. Like, but, you know, I'm like getting ready to, like, you know, if someone's like, hey, you want to go out? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely. But also at the same time, I'm my priority focus in order for me to better commit to my next person, to only be fair on them, because I need to make sure I'm over my ex. I need to make sure I'm okay. And also, it's good to be single. Be with your girlfriends.
Smart people are single. That's what I keep telling people. I've been single for almost 4 years. Thank the Lord I've had the strength to be single. Now I'm like, I'm not dating you unless you can offer. And unless you understand the assignment. You guys know that TikTok video? I understand the assignment. Yeah, that's me now. I'm like, if you don't understand the assignment, we're not dating. We're not. And I'm going to say this. Until a man actually heals himself to the point where he's happy, he's loyal to himself, he's able to commit to a full-time relationship.
Yep.
He is going to be toxic to every woman he meets. And it's 110% true. I see people get in relationships and it's like, the man doesn't feel like the man in the relationship because he's not the man. Because he's not providing for his family and being able to feel like a man and like be a man. So it's like you're never going to be able to like, it will always be toxic. And I honestly believe that 100%.
Yeah.
Not saying like, if your man goes back to school, support him. And I'm not saying because he's not a man because he doesn't provide for the family. I'm just saying that a guy has to grow up. So does a woman. So,
we all have to grow up.
I don't know if this is making any sense.
And I feel like it makes sense at any point in your life that you're at. And let's take breakups, for example. My breakup with my ex at 18 is not the same with my breakup when I'm like upper 20s.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I've learned a lot. I have to evaluate where I'm at life. And, people see things differently. But for me, I have to find what I'm happy with. I have to heal and I have to find what makes me happy. Because I need to give myself attention because I ultimately need to heal to give my next person.
Exactly. You're not responsible. Like how Will Smith says it, you're not responsible for somebody else's happiness. When you're in a relationship, you're responsible for your happiness and what you can bring to add to that person's happiness. And I 110% believe that.
And it takes a while to get there to understand when you are truly ready to date again. Like where you're able to logically think and get over the hurt. It takes a minute to, get there. But where you're like, you know what? Yeah, I'll go out on a date with you. There's no hesitation.
Yeah.
Like there's like no, you honestly find out in the middle of the date if, you feel weird. But like, it's like, you don't have to make up any excuse to kind of get out of it. You're like, yeah, sure, I'll go.
Yeah.
And
you just feel ready. And you feel like the other person's ready. You get good vibes.
Beck and I talk about this all the time.
All the time.
Because she's encouraging me to get out there again. And
Look
I'm
at
just
me,
like...
I'm not getting nowhere, but I'm telling you to get out somewhere. I'm staying in the comfort of my own house.
But it's also so used to, you get comfortable. And I'm trying to get back out there again. But it's also like I've healed enough to know what I love and what's worth my time.
And it's interesting that I'm telling you to get back out there. And there's nothing wrong with like, but it's like, you don't have to go nowhere to meet nobody. They're going to come to you. They're going to come to you.
When you're healing, you give off this whole... You give off this whole like mood and aura type of thing. So I got to know, background story, guys, if you haven't been following us since the beginning, Becca and I actually went to the same high school, but we actually were not close in high school. We didn't really even talk in high school.
No, you were really shy and I was being obnoxious.
So like we were on opposite ends of the spectrum. And then we got to know each other in nursing school. God.
I messaged you. I'm like, so what's up with this point system?
Yeah.
I remember that. I was like, what is wrong with this school? I was like,
oh, are you coming to our school? And then when lo and behold, we were in the same clinical group and that was it. And it was just history since then. But then I really got to know you because you were going through a breakup.
Oh my gosh. Remember we had to stop at Chick-fil-A every other day?
We stopped at Chick-fil-A and you texted me and you were having a panic attack in the car. And that was pretty much our first like emotional moment because I didn't know you then.
Yeah.
But to see your aura then versus now, the healing process. And it's taken a while. But like
time.
This, the stuff that you would say and kind of like compromise with, like you would try and make excuses for the actions. Now you don't excuse the actions. It's black and white. This is wrong. You know, you still love him. You'll always have love, but the amount of healing that's happened.
Because when you heal, you start to, your blinders come off.
That's think logically.
Yeah, you think logically. You're not like, I love him. Okay, you might love him, sweetheart, but guess who you love more? Yourself. Yep. Okay? You know, and I think it's really important. That's why I'm telling people to be single. Nobody listens to me.
Be single.
Be single. Like, you will enjoy it so much more. And then when you get in a relationship, you love yourself so much that you don't need to be with this person 24/7. And then there's less arguments. Okay? You
100%.
give your time to miss the other person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
It takes a lot. I'm not saying that if this is, okay, guys, if you're going through if you're going through a breakup and this is your first breakup, it sucks. Embrace it. It sucks. It hurts so much. Just take a moment and you have to feel the feelings. You have to get through it. There's no easy way to say it. It's going to hurt horribly. Any breakup hurts, but the first breakup you ever go through is really horrible. Mm-hmm. No matter if you're younger or older, it just means the first one, right? But you have to get through it because I can't even explain it. You can't Google it. You can't Google what it, people will
can't be watching no Notebook.
You can't do that. It comes from feeling and getting through it because there is this certain feeling that you feel when you finally have gone over the hurt and you feel independent and confident and you kind of, as Becca said, your blinders are off.
It's the best feeling in the world.
You can sense bullshit.
And most people don't get there. That's the problem. Most people jump into relationships, out of relationships, into relationships, and then wonder why they're so miserable. You're miserable because you don't know how to be single. Mm-hmm. People, come on, get it together.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That's just I feel like a lot of people, I wish I heard that a lot of the time. Like when I
wish I heard that too. I had to learn it.
Yeah.
Nothing like going through the pain.
Like, because, your parents, my parents were like, you just have to get through it. You don't believe your parents at a certain age. But you vibe better with your friends. Yeah. And I wish I had a close friend to say, it's going to hurt now, but it's all going to be worth it in the end. We go through hurt and heartache for a reason. Now I see it. Like, I get it now.
And the pain and, I'm learning this. Like when I think about, like, my ex or, like, my son's father. And I mean, like, exes in the past. I'm like, oh, we did some cool things. Mm-hmm. And it's, like, beautiful. Mm-hmm. Even though, like, I'm be talking shit sometimes. I'm like, oh, that was so nice. Like, we went here. Like,
yeah.
Especially, like, if you smell that cement. Like, not cement. Lord have mercy.
You said cement.
That's listen, I'm about to put him in some damn cement. But when you smell his cologne and it, like, it makes your heart stop and your, like, blood vessels dilate. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just like, oh. But then you don't cry anymore. You just, like, smile and you're like, yeah, okay, that's cute. And then you keep moving. That's when you know you found peace. Peace, you cannot buy peace. You cannot date peace. You cannot cook peace. You cannot do nothing to be able to find peace. You have to be able to find peace in yourself. Okay? And I'm getting a little drunk again, but
going off of what Becca said, like, I've gone through some horrible breakups. Cheating, narcissists. The trauma hurts.
The damn trauma. And the trauma be coming up, too.
Oh, my God. It's literally...
When you try to talk to somebody else or you do something with somebody else, you're like, oh, my
PTSD to its max.
Why am I having anxiety? Why am I having this issue?
My red flags go up. I'm like, nope. No.
And then I'm like,
we're not doing it.
My trauma. And then you hope the other person understands, like...
Oh. God. I comparing my recent relationship, it was probably like textbook perfect. We just ended for some, for certain reasons. But he my dog passed away 2 days ago.
Poor Molly.
Molly, rest in peace, my baby. Molly. And I posted about it, and me and my recent ex, we ended on good terms, and that's the best feeling in itself. There's no one out to get you. I entrust him. He's not like speaking horribly about me, but he texted me. He's like, I'm so sorry, because he's met my my dog, and like he knows how much she meant to me.
Yeah.
And it was nice. And what really, like you said, like the cologne and everything, it's a smile for me.
Yeah.
Like, he has such a beautiful smile. It was warm, and I thought about his smile, and you're like, that was really nice. Like, you know, I just immediately thought of his smile. And I'm like,
oh, you're making me smile.
that's one of my favorite things of him, his smile. Because he had a perfect smile. He worked for him. He had braces and shit. But, like, I was like, that was a nice moment. But to get through the pain of all of that and to come to that moment that you were saying, and you're like, that was a good memory. But we're in a different chapter now.
But that's the thing. It's a memory.
It's a memory and a chapter. It takes a moment to get there, guys. But when you get to that moment, you're like, I'm not saying don't relish in the memory. That's what memories are for. But you're like, that was a memory that you can keep. And then you can keep going, you know? Like, you get to kind of move forward. Because I was, like, reading the messages.
Butterfly.
Yeah, because it was a sad moment for me. But the smile, like, thinking of his smile, I'm like, oh, like, that's really cute. Like, you know, not that I'm thinking that the thought of it, but, you know.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But, like, the thought is attached to memories. And there's, like a cologne scent, a laugh, or a sound, or something like that. That's why senses are very important, guys. We don't need to get into that.
They
but
are.
embrace those, because every time when I smell a scent, it reminds me of a person. And that, like, sends, like...
What's my scent? Remind you of me.
Let me think of... I don't know if it's a scent. Let me think if it's, like, a scent.
Probably a Nicki Minaj song. Every time a Nicki song comes
Always
on.
Nicki. I know I always think of you or Cardi B. Booming music in the car. Mm-hmm. Or...
Yours is giraffes.
Giraffes.
Like,
yes.
I went to Goodwill and I got you that giraffe. I'm like,
Yes.
Bronte will love this.
It's right on my TV. I have 2 giraffes now,
Yeah.
like, on either side. It's ridiculous. It's so bad. I'm trying to think of, like, a scent or, like, a sound or, like, it'll come to me. But, you know, like, especially when you date someone,
Yeah.
there are certain colognes. Every single ex of mine has a cologne that I know and smell. Like, there are certain smells.
Yeah.
And it's not like it gives me PTSD, but it immediately sends me back. Like, the first time I met them.
It's like a little time warp thing.
The smell, it doesn't, I think that's what it is. Cologne scents for them sends me back to the first day I met them, or the first date.
Yeah. Look at me, I'm smiling.
And, like, you know, and it's like, oh, because you know how you felt in that moment. And that's a memory. I'm like, I'm not sad anymore. It's just like, God, how happy I was in that moment, because I was so, like, giddy and happy.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, oh, that was nice, you know? But I think that's why it's, like, important. But when you get to that point, there's no better feeling, because you're like, oh, God, I made it over the hurt. I made it over the hump.
Yeah. It's like, finally you can breathe. When you haven't breathed for a couple years because of trauma, and I'm talking intense, I mean, there's levels of trauma, abuse, sexual, and all that stuff. But, you know, I think with my trauma, it was a lot different than most people's. I mean, everybody's different, but I think my trauma came from not being able to heal from the trauma faster, because I still had to have contact with him. We have a son. So I think that took me a long time. You know, he jumped into a relationship like 2 months after, but that's okay. That's what he does. You know, if his relationship ends now, I give it a month, he'll be in another relationship. He doesn't know how to be alone. And
Right.
he's told me this. We've broken up like so many times. This is the last time we would break up. Not planning on getting with him, but I'm just saying, every time we broke up, it would be like we broke up for like 6 months. We would get back together. Like, the day after he left the girl, he'd be like, I missed you. I thought about you the whole time. And that was like cute and everything. But now I'm like, man, you got to heal yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, stop playing the victim. And I hate people that play victim. Stop playing the victim. Heal yourself, because that's when you find peace. And when you ever have experienced true peace, man, it's priceless. It is priceless.
I think, you know, what's actually really scary.
Wait,
I think, you know, when you've gotten through, I think, and I, you know, it can apply to anything, but like, I'll just keep using breakups, because everyone goes through breakups.
Yeah.
I think when you go through a day without thinking about them, or a little bit, and you're like, it hits you, and you're like, holy crap,
You start thinking about somebody else.
Yeah. And you're like, wow. You kind of feel like this betrayal moment, but you're like, no, this is a good thing, because, oh my God, I've been able to get to a place where I'm not so sad and so devastated.
And thinking about him all the time, and like this and that. It's like, Jesus. And then you're like, oh, this is not as bad as I thought it was. But in the hot of the moment, if I had to go back and experience all that pain I went through, I don't know how I made it out alive.
Nope.
And I mean that, like, word for word. I don't know how I made it out alive.
I don't know.
God's grace. That's all I got to say is because it was horrible. Horrible.
I remember calling my mom and my dad, and they just kept telling me, you have to get through it. You have to keep pushing. There's nothing I can do. I remember my mom saying, it's like a train derailing and getting it back on the tracks. It's like, she was like...
Wait for the next train.
Yeah, she was like, every day we told you, you have to keep going. You have to get through it. I get it. That's all you have to do. You have to process.
But you get it now, but you didn't get it then. And that's okay because you're not supposed to get it then. You're not supposed to know how to deal with a breakup before you go through a breakup.
Yep. But
you know what I mean?
You know what the most rewarding feeling is, though?
What?
Guys, and this is too, when you see someone else going through the same exact thing and you could be a physical representation. Like, I'm telling you, I went through the exact same thing. You were going to get through it. It is the worst fucking feeling in the world. I never will I never wish it on your nothing, because when you get with someone sexually, once sex is involved,
involved, it's done. It's done. You have to be very careful when sex is involved.
There's a whole new level. And I feel like when you grow older, how do I want to word this, Becca? Like, it's not like, okay, like when you have a relationship with someone, have sex, but like, I don't know if I want to bring it in. I don't know.
Wait. Where are you trying to go? Hold on.
I was going to
fill in.
All right, guys, this is not what I mean. Okay. This is what we're almost 30.
Yeah.
Hooking up with someone and having sex is not as sentimental. Like, you know, like we're able to like be like, it was just sex. That was it.
Yeah. So you have to be very careful. Like when you're having sex with somebody, you have to be like, okay, so why are we having sex?
Yeah.
That type of thing.
When you're in a committed relationship and you're with someone for
then
years,
it's like a whole different, like,
there's a whole different mountain to get over, you know? Like, you're confident with this person seeing you at your most vulnerable and, you know, you know. But it's not like how I thought it was at, like, 18, 16. Like, you know, it's oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, I think, you know... I know we have listeners of different ages, so hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm getting at. But when sex is involved, there's another hump to get over. Like, too. It is. There is. Like, there is. Like, it's not like, okay, we had one kiss.
And the thing is, once you bring, like, sex into a equation, it can never be minused out.
No.
It's not like X times sex equals Y. You can't minus sex to have X equal Y. You cannot do that, people.
Sex raised to the square root power.
Sometimes it adds a baby. So sometimes you be adding to the equation. But I'm just saying. So, like, you know.
You almost have a whole 6-year-old.
Well, way.
Yeah, Becca's son's almost 6 years old.
He is. He loves his
6.
mama, though. I am his world. He's my world.
Yeah. Like...
He is a mama's boy. He definitely is.
He is.
Loves his dad, but he's a mama's boy.
But Auntie Bronte's taking him to school tomorrow.
Ooh, he don't know it.
He doesn't know, but he's going to have a surprise. But yeah, I think, like, this is such a sensitive topic, you know, because everyone's going through it. Yeah. Men, women, and sorry if we said men in the beginning. We're not trying to just target men. Everyone, like...
You got to heal yourself. You got to heal yourself. You got to go through it, deal with it, grow up.
And I don't think there's a timestamp on it because some people get through it faster than others.
Yeah.
But I think it is important.
And I'm not saying don't ever get in a relationship until you're 100% healed. You know what I mean? I still have trauma that I work through. Doesn't mean I can't be in a relationship. I've been single for 4 years. Like, I think it's almost time for me to be like, okay, so what am I doing, Becca?
Yeah.
You know, because, like, I want to get married. I want more kids. I mean, at least that's what I think I want. Maybe I don't want that.
But who knows where you're going to be in a year's time.
But I mean, like, not saying I still probably have to heal from more trauma, but because I have a stable foundation, I'm stable as a person, I can manage a relationship. If you asked me 3.5 years ago, could I manage a relationship? Absolutely the fuck not. No. I would be like... I couldn't even manage myself.
Yeah. No,
you know what I mean? So, and plus I was dealing with nursing school with you, but like,
yeah, that was
crazy.
That was a whole different relationship.
So glad that I passed, but whatever. But it's like, you know, I'm at this time in my life. I'm like, okay, I could be single for another 2 years and be happily, or I could be in a relationship like next month.
Who knows? But
Who
the
knows
fact
what's
of the
gonna
matter is,
happen?
you took time for yourself and you're comfortable with yourself. You're independent.
And I
you're
know how
confident
to
in yourself.
heal.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know how many people message me like, you're glowing, you're thriving. Yes, bitch, I am. Thank you for noticing. Keep noticing.
Thank you.
Because I'm going to keep showing
Because
up.
you should relish in your hard work because it took a lot of emotional
turmoil. And most people don't want to deal with it. Most people do not want to deal with it. And you know, you're very special to me because I feel like you know where I'm coming from, but like other people, they're like, yeah, I've been single for 2 months, I'm ready to date again.
Okay.
Are you ready to date again?
And you came out of a what?
10-year, 18-year, 6-year. Like, it's like, are you ready to date again?
I am a firm believer in it takes half the amount of time to get over the person that you were with. So if you, again, guys, just to break it down for you, if you're with a guy or a girl or any relationship for 4 years, it takes 2 years to get over.
That's why they always come back. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, please check out our other episodes.
Many episodes.
They always come back. Always. People know what they missed. It might take them a little bit longer to realize, but they'll come back. They always do. They always be texting you.
Yeah.
So,
but guys, I hope this helped. I know we went deep really there, but
yeah,
you know, if you
I
guys,
hope it made sense.
But guys, like, you know, to end it, you know, here, I think, you know, it really helps us to hear from you guys when you email us at slowlydyingrns@outlook.com. Outlook or Gmail, you know.
Yeah.
But it really helps. Becca and I went on a break for a little bit. And actually going on a break, you guys were like, where the fuck did you guys go?
We're trying to go to St. Martin or something here.
Yes. I think Becca and I have been working really hard this year, and it's me. I've been waiting on my schedule, and we're gonna book it. I'm gonna do some rearranging.
You got days off? We gotta do something here.
I mean, there's no doubt that Becca and I earn pretty good money. You work hard and you know, play hard. But it's time to relish in our like independence, and we worked hard. We both been through heartache the last
we've been through some heartache.
3 or 4 years. It's been hard.
Heartache.
But now we're sitting here, and if you guys are going through something like this, just, you know, if you guys don't even know who the hell we are, you just listen, know that you're not alone, and that you just need to give it time, and you need to make through the pain and the heartache. But
yeah,
it gets better.
You guys need to be a bab. You know what a bab is?
A badass bitch.
Yes, you understood the assignment.
Yeah, badass bitch.
You guys have to, and you can't be a boss ass bitch if you never went through some pain. Everybody knows this.
I feel like you give off this aura too. Like, it's like
your aura becomes thrive. Like, people notice.
Thriving.
But you know how many people asked me on a date this week? I'm like, no.
This week.
Yeah.
What receipt you got? Damn. Okay.
I gotta get the receipt like you.
Okay, guys, if you didn't catch our last episode, the key thing you gotta take away is receipt album in your phone.
Yeah, I know.
I'm telling you, receipt album.
But the thing is, once you start turning down dates because you know that, like, it's not gonna go nowhere, or, like, you understand that, like, okay, this person's not wanting what I want, that's when you're like, all right, girl, I got you. I got myself.
They understood the assignment.
I understood the assignment.
That's it.
So be a bab.
Done.
Done.
And
I'm eating a Kit Kat bar.
that's it. At like
Sipping on. What time is it?
12 a.m.
Well, I'm a night shift nurse, so this is like
this is our no.
I've been eating so much pizza and wine, and like every time I drink wine, I get so hot. Like, I was sweating. I was like, oh my! So my neighbor, guys, he's cool. He came over. I was like, you want some pizza? You know, whatever. He comes over and I start sweating. I'm like, oh my god, the wine! Like, I had to go put on shorts because I'm like, it is so hot in here. But now I'm cold now.
We don't really drink in the week. We work in the week. It's really weird.
So, a little hot, but
I know, but it's needed though. We finally,
yeah. So this is Becca though, and I think it's time for me to pop off. What do you think?
I think so too, guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.